Hey everyone, it is Kat and Shenna again, bringing you guys this. So this week we're focusing on Black Friday, and today we're setting you guys up for preparation. And then next week, next on Wednesday, right, Kat?
Wednesday.
On Wednesday, it'll be chatbot and messenger, how to set that up. And then on Friday, we'll wrap it up with ads if you want to do that, and maybe a little bit of organic and how that all of that works. So let's get it started. So basically, Black Friday is, as we said, we we want to. One thing that I want to say is a lot of brands, big brands, spend a lot of money on Black Friday, and they don't necessarily spend money to for conversions. They actually just want to get as many eyes as they could, right? It's all about exposure for them, and that's kind of like a big brand strategy, and it's not a
Yeah,
bad
because
strategy.
how many exposures to one person? Like if you're brand new to somebody, how many exposures do you need for someone to be like remember you?
7 to 8, 7 to 8 is just about the average where they finally would say yes, they want to buy from you, or no, they're not feeling you, right? And and Black Friday, I just want to say it's just one of those. While there's a lot of money to be made, it's also kind of a part of a bigger strategy, right? You don't want to focus just on Black Friday, make all your money on Black Friday, because that's just not true. That's not going to be that's not reality, right? um, so this checklist that I put together is kind of reining all of that in and making sure that your expectations are where they need to be, so that you don't lose your mind, and you don't lose your mind, and you also look at the long term, right, and making sure that this is just part of your strategy. um, you know Quickly, if you want to know about me, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, a business owner, philanthropist. I am volunteering for um, a nonprofit called Mom's House for Children. And if you guys want to know more, I'll definitely speak about that. Um, and again, quick heads up and a reality check: a lot of brands actually lose money on Black Friday and Cyber Monday because their goal is to get to as many eyes as they could. It's not necessarily, sell as much as they could. And a lot of them, they discount their stuff so that they could provide value now. So when you buy something and you like it, then you come back and buy more, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be Black Friday. And so that's a lot what a lot of big brands do. That's why they, when it comes to these massive sales, the idea is, okay, I can provide value now, but I want, the long term value, the lifetime value of the client, right?
Yeah. And I
So
mean, in real estate, we call that a lost leader. Is that kind of the same? Yeah.
that's yep,
Okay.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. But you lose now, but in the back end, you
You gain.
win, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For sure.
Um, so again, it's the long term focus. This is a marathon. You're building a business, and Kat, like what Kat was saying in the past conversations we've had, she's building a legacy. This isn't just something that she wants for herself. This is something that she's building for her kids too, right? And for a lot of us, that's the truth. We want to leave a legacy for our children, right?
But
Another
not
thing
a
that
lot of people are planning on that. So it's, if you're ahead of the game, get exposed to that idea now. It's not about you and just working until you retire, but working to provide for your kids, and not even in just in the sense of financial, but just to provide them with knowledge and all that stuff too. So start now.
Mhm.
Start planning now. Start planning your Black Friday now. Start financial planning now.
Yeah, yeah. And this is all a marathon and not a sprint, right?
Hmm.
And of course, Murphy's law is in full effect. My experience running ads for the past 4 or 5 years, something always breaks. Facebook always freezes for an hour or two. Stuff like that is just kind of, you just gotta roll with the punches, right? And so just don't lose sight of what's important.
Yeah,
So for
and
track,
I'll go through that on Wednesday, you know? What happens if Facebook shuts down? What happens if Instagram shuts down?
cool.
We'll have
There
a
you go.
plan B.
Yeah,
We got
there you go.
we got
There
you.
you go. So for the first thing, you want to know your numbers, right? You want to know the lifetime value of a client, or a customer. You want to know repeat customers, how many times they repeat. You want to know your margins. And again, because this is a long-term plan. It's not just, you don't make all your money at Black Friday. You really don't. So know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, here's the first thing you do, right? And it's actually surprising how many business owners don't know their numbers.
Mhm.
So don't be that business owner, please. The next thing, get your list prime, right? So iOS 14 updates affected a lot of the cookie and the following and stuff like that. According to stats, about 90% of Apple owners actually opt out of tracking, which is kind of scary. And then according to digital marketer, but those 10% that opted in are actually marketers. It's probably true,
So
right?
true because what you don't know scares you, right? So what my experience is with the few people that I know that stopped using Facebook was they're like, oh, now they're tracking me. Now they're tracking this and that. And I'm like, no, they're not really tracking you. It's just data so that, if you've clicked on an ad, obviously, unless you clicked it by accident, obviously you were interested. And so they're going to show you more things like that because you've shown an interest to it. It's not to, Big Brother tracking you down, right? And that's what, people that I know that completely went off Facebook and Instagram for that reason. I'm like, no, they are not, secretly tracking you for those reasons.
Mhm.
It's just for advertising.
And it's funny because one thing that I've said in the past is it, Google has actually done the same thing. It's just they don't explicitly say that they're doing that. Versus Facebook, like if you're at Google and you search something, all of a sudden everything that in that search term, all the ads that are popping up are related to that search term.
Yes.
It's the same
Yes.
thing with social media. It's the same idea.
Yeah. And that's
But
exactly what I said to them. I'm like, so do you use Google? Yep. Same thing.
they just didn't explicitly say that this is what we're doing.
This wasn't some big announcement, right?
Exactly. So iOS 15 updates are actually in emails, right? And what happens now is when you're on your phone and you start when and decided to buy something or subscribe into something, Apple uses a dummy email. So you would get that first email, and then the other emails you're not gonna get because Apple is forcing these dummy emails on people. And it's one way that Apple is quote unquote protecting your privacy, right? And it's tough because if you really like that information, you're having to tell Apple that, hey, this is okay, put in my real information, or you have to do it on desktop, right?
Yeah. And if there are emails that you really don't want to miss, you want to make sure that you whitelist that email. So
Exactly.
if you don't know what that means, go and search Google and search how to whitelist I guess in your emails.
Yeah.
Because yeah, there are some and I'm like, why is this in my promotions? I need that information. And so yeah, if you know that you're expecting something and you want to continue to get that information in your regular inbox, be sure to whitelist that.
Yeah. And as a brand, and as a business, you want to be relevant and you want to be timely in your emails, right? Because of another block with Apple. So you want to be A, consistent. B, if it needs to be more, then definitely don't hesitate to do that. And then in terms of relevancy, you might want to, if you have a big list, you might want to start segmenting them, right?
Mhm.
And it's the same idea with Messenger. You segment people based on what they say they're interested in.
Yeah.
um, and interesting statistics, 60% of holiday shoppers are from engaged emails. So don't sleep on emails. And another thing that's coming up on Wednesday, set up necessary automations with your emails and Messenger. So Kat is going to walk you guys through how to do that with Facebook and Instagram, Kat.
Yep. Yep.
Cool. Very cool. So, like, the good thing with Messenger is you're not having to leave Facebook. So you're not having to worry about if your email is right, and all these other things. And same thing with IG, right? And like I said, in 2021, Instagram and Pinterest are the two social media where people look for deals. So don't sleep on those things. Don't sleep on those two things if you're already in them. And if you're not, now is the time, right?
Mhm.
Now is the time. So, checklist number 3: creatives and copy. So this, from now until in the next 2 weeks, is the time to start scheduling this stuff, because you don't want to be, Thanksgiving night hanging out with your family and having to schedule all these things, and then something breaks.
Yeah.
So you want to just kind of schedule those now, so that it's kind of in your queue and you're not panicking and all that good stuff. So get it going now. I mean, and if
Yeah.
you're running ads, same idea. You schedule them now, because you don't want them to get stuck in learning. You don't want them to get you don't want them to not get approved and get stuck in there as well, because Facebook is going to be super busy running a ton of ads and will probably break for an hour or two. So get that going now.
Yeah.
Now.
And a good tip is to get all that the creatives and copies done. Take one day to do that, and then you can use an app like later.com to schedule them all, so that you're not going, oh, on this day and this time I have to go and post this. No, you just schedule it on later.com or whatever app you want to use, and it's done. You don't have to think about it. Unless you wanted to change something, you don't have to think about it. It's done.
Yep, that's right. That is exactly right. Later.com I've never heard of, but there's also Buffer. Yeah,
Yep.
Buffer is a good one. If you're not using any of these scheduling apps, we highly recommend that you guys do that, just
Mhm.
for your peace of mind. The next one is make it easy. Make it easy for anyone who's going to your site. Make it, site-wide sales. Don't send out any codes, because codes could get lost in emails, and now there's an extra resistance for them to, if they're on your site and then they have to look for a code, now there's an extra resistance for them to buy, right? And you want to lessen that resistance, that friction. So you want them to just, it's right there. You just hit buy, put in your credit card, put in your PayPal, and then you're good, right? So make it super easy for them to buy. Next thing is start in early and create urgency. And this is just about seeding and say and kind of sneak peeks and kind of show them what's coming. Kat last week alluded to some brands already releasing what's going to be on sale. So you're basically kind of doing the same thing, right? You're kind of setting them up to say, hey, this is coming on Friday, on Black Friday, and here's why it's important, and here's why it's relevant for you, and just kind of, I would just rotate the same email and add one quick, thing, and change one quick thing about why that product is very important. So and then, of course, the whole urgency thing. If you're only having a 24-hour sale, because for Black Friday, definitely do that and honor that. Please don't make the fake urgency. Oh, we decided to extend it to Cyber Monday. Don't do that. If you're gonna do it from Black Friday to Cyber Monday, say you're gonna do it from
Yeah.
Black Friday to Cyber Monday. Be honest and be truthful about that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to add, Kat, on that?
I think you've covered that pretty well. Pretty well. I'm excited for Wednesday.
So quick summary for just this prep. Um, like we're saying, now is the time to start prepping for Black Friday. It's in a month, so you
Yep,
have about 2-3 weeks to get that going and to make sure that all your ducks are set and ready. So that way, once the clock hits 12, you just turn it on and it's on its way. Focus on what you can control, right? That's huge because there's going to be a ton of stuff that's going to be happening based on what happened in 2020. 2021 is going to be even bigger because bigger brands are going to spend more money in e-commerce and online stuff, selling online, just because people are still afraid of going out and spending money out there. So they would rather do it on their phone, and they would rather do it on online and all that. So there's going to be it's going to be there's a lot of money that's going to be circulating for Black Friday. It's going to be amazing,
for
actually.
sure. I think this is probably going to be record breaking, is what I'm thinking.
I have a feeling as well. I think 2020 was kind of a shock for big brands just because they're not used to that. And
Yeah.
now that they have a year to catch up, now they're
Yeah.
probably
But I feel like there are a lot of people that spent a lot of money, but there's probably still a lot of people who were holding on to their money as well because of the fear of the unknown financial situations that they were in, right? So I know there's a lot more money spent because everybody was online, but I think people are back into the groove and financially, most people are doing much better now. So I think this is why like this year is just going to be like huge. So let's get a little tiny piece of that pie.
exactly. I want some.
I want some too.
Do you have any last words, Kat?
No, no, except for, you got less than 6 weeks. You got about 5.5 weeks. Like, let's get started.
Yes, yes. And
Let's,
on Wednesday, Kat will show us how to use bots to
yeah,
help.
how to get the bots working for you to be a little more effective in grabbing your client's attention, all your followers' attention, and converting them from the algorithm to your inbox, because we don't have control over this algorithm. We have control once they are in our inbox though.
Very cool. I'm actually kind of excited because I've used chatbots in Facebook, but I've never used them in Instagram, and I'm actually now back in Instagram, so that's kind of cool.
It's really the same thing. It's the same platform. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
cool.
it's the one company, right? There's
Yeah, yeah, for
there's
sure.
a tiny bit of difference in terms of features that you can do in Instagram, sorry, in Facebook, but not in Instagram. So that's the only thing, but to a user it won't be any different.
Cool. Very
The
cool.
one thing that I love using that Instagram doesn't allow is gifts.
Oh
It
no.
ruins it.
They're gonna catch up, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're the same company. Like, I don't know why they don't allow it. It's Instagram. It's all about pictures and videos.
Right.
Why not
Mhm.
in a messenger?
Right.
Oh well. Oh well.
Very cool. Well, I am excited for bots and making sure that bots work for you instead of you having to work for bots or having extra
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. It's a great
That's
way to duplicate yourself, and that's what I'm all about.
and that's on Wednesday at what time?
That is, I think, same time
Okay,
at
cool.
1 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Mountain Time.
Cool. Very cool. All right, we'll see you guys on Wednesday at 1 o'clock Pacific, 2 p.m. Mountain. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Tag me, tag Kat, tag Vanessa. I'm sure she has a lot to say if you want.
Where is
Um,
she?
she's probably taking a nap, I hope.
Yes, yes, for sure.
But
Okay.
thanks, Kat, for coming. Bye, everyone.
Bye.